Hey, what's up? Alex here. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about home related stuff. I realized I have yet to cover any kitchen related content, so in this video I'd like to share 5 kitchen appliances to get for your new house when you are done with all the renovation stuff. If you are making a trip down to an electronic mega store to get everything one shot, you can use this list as a reference, although I prefer to buy them online. In fact, I think I bought all of this online, which means none of the products that I'm going to mention in this video are sponsored. This is not going to be an in-depth product review, but just to give you an idea what to get, my feedback, and whether I will recommend any of them. Alright, the first item is a microwave. For busy working adults, or if you're just not into cooking, the microwave is a savior. The question here is which type to get, an inbuilt one or those standalone countertops. In terms of selection, there are more variety of choices for countertops. For built-in, it's only some brands and usually it's 1 or 2 selection. Built-in are also more expensive, typically double or triple the price of a countertop. But in terms of aesthetic look, getting a built-in definitely looks better in the kitchen. You won't have all these gaps around which can collect dust. For built-in, just remember to let your carpentry know the measurement so that they can do the cutout. It's not always the same fixed standard measurement, so decide early on which you want to get. The one I'm using is a countertop Panasonic DS596B microwave, about $500, which can do more than just reheat, can do baking, grill, and steam as well. It has a feature called auto cooking, no need to set power and cooking time, and it will just automatically cook based on the weight. You know I'm very into all this automation stuff, so once I see this auto cook, I'm like, okay, buy this. So do I like it? Actually, no. I'm not sure whether it's user problem, but somehow when I use the auto cook function, it will just switch off by itself after some time. Then a problem with the microwave function is I cannot use this kind of containers despite them indicating that it's safe for microwave. End up I have deformed containers. The self-clean function also doesn't work very well. Cleaning this thing is super tedious. The steaming is okay, but to do baking I rather use my oven. To grill I rather use an air fryer. So if you have very little space in your kitchen, then getting such multifunctional microwave is good to save space. This is my first time getting such a multifunctional microwave, so I'm not sure whether the other brands are similar to this. Any of you are using this type of microwave can share with me in the comments below what's your feedback of them. So given a choice now, I think I'll rather get a simpler microwave, like those in the convenience store where you just press one button to set the timer, that's all. Okay, next item is the air fryer. I think air fryer gets more and more common since like 5 years ago. Basically, it's not using any oil, so it's like a healthier choice and also won't make your kitchen very oily after cooking. But I think most of the older generation, like my parents' age, they are in the 50s or 60s, will still prefer to use the traditional classic way of doing deep fried. Which of course the food is definitely going to look better and taste better, so that really depends on individual. I think the more popular air fryer brand in Singapore is Philips, as they are like the first to start this air fryer trend. But for this house, I decided to go with Amazon's best selling air fryer brand, which is the Ninja. I bought this at $240. The current Philips model is about double the price depending on which model you get. I used to have the older generation Philips air fryer, and if I compare which I like more, it's actually the Ninja. So what I like about the Ninja first is the size of it. It's slimmer on the outside, but yet bigger space at the cooking area as compared to the Philips I used to have. Big enough to put the entire whole chicken. Controls are simple and straightforward. These are just presets for different temperature. Then you just set the timer, press start, that's all. Cleaning wise, this is so much easier as well. Taste wise is very personal. I think they all taste fairly similar from any air fryer. It's more like whether you are okay with an air fryer in general. Moving on to the third appliance is a pressure cooker or a rice cooker, depending on a few factors here. Firstly, are you going to eat rice frequently, and maybe what is your cooking skill level? If you are in a typical Chinese family where almost every day is going to be rice, then get a rice cooker. And I guess most of the time that master chef in the house wouldn't need a pressure cooker. For my case, we only cook for dinner and we try to cut down on carbs for dinner. So having a rice cooker is actually quite useless for us since a pressure cooker can also be used to cook rice. We eat that once a while. Tastes, of course, not as nice as a rice cooker. Having a pressure cooker is also very useful because there are many very simple recipes for pressure cooking, and most of them are simply just throwing everything inside, let it cook by itself for some time, and it's done. Simple and easy for beginners. Okay, to talk about pressure cooker, there are basically two popular choices out there. First is what I have here is the Philips all-in-one cooker. I bought this at about $150. The other popular choice is the Instant Pot, which costs about $240 right now in Shopee. I go with the Philips one because this is non-stick, unlike Instant Pot is stainless steel. Both has its own pros and cons. But I think right now you can consider getting an all-in-one pressure cooker plus air fryer. The Ninja one looks good on paper, very good reviews. With this can definitely save a lot of countertop space. The fourth appliance I have in my list is a blender. Very handy and useful, can be used for smoothie, sauces, baking use. Overall, I think it is something good to have for every kitchen. When choosing a blender, basically you just need to consider the size and how well it blends. But that's hard to tell unless you are able to try it before buying. What I have here is a personal blender that cost me around $20+. Then you also have your more expensive ones, which I'm considering buying. It's also from Ninja at around $400. I'm not sure whether I want to spend that kind of money yet. It depends on how frequent you are going to use it and what food are you blending. So I am kind of still thinking about it. For now, this personal blender is good enough for me. My last appliance is what every Chinese family need to have in their house. It is a steamboat. We Chinese simply love steamboat. We eat them during Chinese New Year, birthday celebrations, Mother's Day, Father's Day. It is always a comfort food for any special occasion. But I would suggest not to get those that is meant just for steamboat. You can use those standalone induction cooker which comes with a separate pot, that is possible. Or you can get this kind of multi-purpose electric skillet like what I have here. This is the Zojiroshi. Okay, let's just call it the elephant brand. This costs about $270. Besides using this for steamboat, you can also do Japanese hot pot, Korean stew, or simply any soup-based kind of food that you will always want to eat them hot. Like if I take away my favorite crab bee hoon back home, I will put it over my elephant pot, turn up the heat a little and enjoy it this way. For this particular model, it comes with two different pans. This is a shallow pan which I use it for like barbecue with meat, seafood, mushrooms, or even my home cooked mala xiang guo I use this. Then of course the other pan which is much deeper for steamboat and the rest of the soup based food that I just mentioned. You know, some pot is so deep that you have difficulty searching for the ingredient that you put in. So I think for this it's just nice. And lastly, it comes with a glass lid. If you want to speed up the heating, you can cover it. And also glass means you can actually see the cooking progress easily. Cleaning wise also very easy, all non-stick pan. But one thing I don't like about this is it will take quite some time to get heated up when you have food filled right up to the top. Alright everybody, thank you all so much for watching the video. I hope it's useful. I also want to take a moment to thank our sponsor for today's video, Shopback. Shopback is a one-stop rewards and discovery platform for users to earn cashback while delivering performance-based marketing to merchants. For this kind of platform to do well, the participating merchants play the most crucial part in my opinion. When I went to check out their website on the list of merchants they have on board, I am very impressed. Shopback shopping button offers you a quicker and faster way to earn cashback. It simplifies shopping and also lets you shop in a smarter way. For PC users, you need to install the plugins in order to access the Shopback button. I actually did a video a few months ago on how to shop from Taobao. Inside the video, I included some steps on how to apply the cashback to the items in your Taobao shopping cart. Do check that out if you like to buy things from Taobao. Another fantastic feature they have right now is price comparison across those main online shopping platforms I frequently visit. Straight away, you can have a quick check at what kind of price you can get from each of these platforms. In Singapore, the company has also extended its service offering with Shopback Go, an app-based rewards platform for in-store shopping, dining, and entertainment. For the app, I think the food deals are the most useful since they have those affordable daily cheap eats. If I want to eat some crave nasi lemak, just buy it straight away like this. Then with the cashback earned, you can either withdraw them out or just simply buy some Grab or Shopee vouchers since I use these two the most frequently. You can also stack up your rewards earning with GPay and of course from your credit card rewards. So if you are going to check out any of the kitchen appliances mentioned in this video, you can use Shopback and get some good cashback at the same time. I have linked all the products in the video description below. Thank you again so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye.